Let's do it. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. I'm super excited. We are starting a No Stones Ministries podcast. And to let you know, obviously it's me, Ian. I'm excited to have Joe with me. We're going to do this together. And, Joe's been a part of the No Stones since the get-go. He's the man, the myth, the legend behind the media development, behind the camera organization, and behind the editing that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. So just excited to be able to get him in front of the camera for a change.
Yeah, man, this is different for me.
It's fantastic, though.
It's cool, man. It's cool. It's definitely something that I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Yeah.
It is so cool that I actually found somebody to do it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm ready for this.
Man, it's just such a blessing.
Yeah,
it's such a blessing.
Very much so.
And I love what we're going to be able to talk about is start of the church, and then kind of what we were talking about is the denominations that have come, and the difference that we see where it is kind of gotten, and it's far away from what this is.
Yeah, it's
right?
very far away.
Yeah.
From myself, from everything that I've looked into, like I told you the other day, I have been looking into the five solas of Second London Baptist Convention.
Yeah.
And something that I had already looked into a long time ago, but I just want to go back and look at it before we start doing this right here. And what we actually believe as far as scripture alone.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the denominations they talk about now, they've gotten completely away from scripture.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into this.
Yeah. And I think, guys, where this kind of started, and where it started for us, and we were talking about this, and while No Stones came to be, right? It's like it was kind of a breakaway where we could bridge a gap that we saw.
Yeah.
And in Romans 16:17, it says, I urge you, this is Paul speaking, he says, I urge you, brothers and sisters, to watch out for those that cause divisions and put obstacles in your way that are contrary to the teaching you've learned. Keep away from them. For such people are not serving our Lord Jesus Christ, but their own appetites. And I know I quoted the book Romans here, and that's a big part of the problem.
I think like what it's talking about, I can't remember the verse, but people start following that their own, start bringing up their own people.
Yeah.
To please their itching ears.
Exactly.
And I think that's a lot of what we have now.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of what happened in the early part.
Yeah. Absolutely. It started, obviously after Pentecost, you had the Church of Jerusalem. We were just talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
It was formed. James, Jesus' brother, was the purveyor of that. But you also had the churches in Antioch, churches in Rome. And then we had the Council of Nicaea, where we were literally just talking about how that's where Rome made it legal to be a Christian.
Yeah.
Because before they were
getting persecuted, man.
Yeah, very detrimental to your health, if you will.
Yeah, very much so. Persecuted in a different kind of way. They talk about dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. You scrape the skin off you and stuff like that. Poor Bartholomew did not have a good time.
It's like you were saying about the crucifying, like
it was 500 Jews a day during the Jewish wars right there around AD 70. It's crazy to think. 500 they run out of wood and run out of space.
That's man.
And it's just crazy. But to see where it came, and the problem though, I think, is that after the meeting of the Council of Nicaea, they kind of formed, this is what the gospel is going to be, this is what Scripture is going to be, which was kind of cool. But there was still some dissension, and then you started seeing a formation of what we call the Catholic, which is Catholics is universal for me.
Yes, well.
But it was kind of like Catholics were kind of building a denomination that was original, if you will, after the Church of Jerusalem. And then, man, you had Martin Luther, who threw up some theses.
Yeah, years later, though, after the Catholic Church had just went off of the head.
Yeah, 100%. Right, and it was because it was formed, it was led in Rome, right? So Rome was what? It was two things I think they called visions. It was the head of the global currency building, right? The global economy, and it was the political base.
Yes.
And it started bleeding into the church.
Yes. Oh, man, yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I mean, people were buying their, I forget exactly the word they called it.
Plenary.
Yeah. That's why.
Plenary indulgences.
Indulgences. Yes. That was the issue that Luther had, right? Is that people were buying their way out of
Purgatory. They were buying their way out of Purgatory.
This is the problem with denominations, right here, guys. Purgatory is nowhere in the Bible.
Yes, it's not.
It's nowhere in the Bible. It's in my opinion, and I correct me if I'm wrong. To me, it's a Jewish blend, right? So they had Sheol, which was where you went after you died in the early Old Testament. Yeah. There's back and forth about Jesus in 3 days, whatever. Mm-hmm. But Sheol was kind of that holding place, and it's almost essentially where I feel like Catholics kind of peeled out purgatory.
Well, yeah, they did. I mean, I forgot what it's called. Basically, so you can't get your plenary filled.
Right.
You know, you have to you get it filled up, but then you start sitting and it goes back down.
Exactly.
So if you die and your plenary is full,
Yeah.
then you got to go to purgatory.
For whatever you're holding.
Yeah, for whatever you owe.
Yeah, yeah.
So I forgot the guy's name that was going around. You know,
He was selling basically tickets.
Yeah,
and it was crazy because you could even buy your relatives out of purgatory.
That was the one that they had a gene before, and I can't remember. I think every time a coin got hit,
Yeah.
it's some crazy stuff like that. A soul for purgatory scenes, something like that, man. So you could basically, because if you were still alive,
Yep.
and you did a plenary indulgence, then by the time you got going somewhere, you had sinned again, and then you plenary. But if you're dead,
yeah,
then you can't sin no more.
Exactly.
So you get from cousin.
Yeah,
And if you really want your cousin to be in heaven, get the plenary indulgence.
Yeah.
Damn, and then you can make sure get out of purgatory and you'll be there.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about that is people falling for it.
Oh, absolutely. But that's the early church,
But
right?
it's different from us, and the reason why everybody didn't have a Bible
Right.
back then.
Yeah.
So everybody wasn't able to go. But we live in a good time at that time. Right? We could actually we have Bibles at our home. A lot of y'all don't read them.
True.
We have them now. And back in those days, they didn't have them, so they was just going off of what those guys tell them.
100%. And we still do that a lot too often.
That's true.
And man, it's so funny that we're talking about a really early church and how those things are going on. Luther, 95 Thesis, and that was kind of the beginning of the Protestant Reformation and the Anabaptists and some others came out of that. But really, what kicked off the big denomination pool that we see today is freedom of religion, separation church and state that the U.S. founded in 1776.
Well, I mean, you had the Quakers and the Puritans, different sects that were already coming over there. They arguing with each other as soon as they got it.
100%, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and then it just went on from there.
Hundreds of denominations.
Yeah.
And it's funny, man, because you think about it, and it's all built in that same, a lot of denominations, especially now, I think that's where a lot of the bad blood, if you will, or the bad reputation of the church.
Yeah.
Because the church, guys, we got to remember too, church is not a building. Okay.
Yeah.
It's people.
It's the people.
And that's the body of Christ. It's the church. It's the bride for the bridegroom. And we've turned it into, and especially the Catholics are quite honest, and they turned it into that. And it's still a money-driven thing. A lot of denominations are a money-driven thing. And, there was the formation of the Moravians, right? They were very small, so it was mainly about mission-driven. And then you had, inside, and another thing too, inside the denomination, we're talking about Calvinism.
Yeah.
You've got little things that are inside the Pelagians and all this that are inside it that it gets so far removed. Because what you do, you always want to study the Bible. You study what the Word says.
Yes.
But when people don't pay attention to these words, they only pay attention to other men's words. They go, well, it's my study, it's my devotional.
Yes.
With a couple verses, and then some sentences.
But
and
a little bit of a slant to it, man.
Yeah, and then a prayer I'm supposed to recite.
Yeah.
That's a problem because it's a relationship.
Yes.
And I think that's what we really want to drive towards. That's what this is about, is bringing you guys understanding that it shouldn't be that way. Right?
It should be. It's sad that it is that way. Even you said about the Catholics, but even with the Protestants,
big time.
It's
I'm picking the Catholics. Can't help you. Let them know.
Oh yeah, I pick on them too. But I mean, even with us, man. I mean, is being Protestants.
Yeah.
We have so many different things that are just
so complex.
I've even been in churches where I've actually heard ministers talking down about other denominations from people.
Yeah. Big time.
And that's like, okay. Now, I think, hey, man, it's the things that we can disagree on.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. But, I mean, as long as we, surround ourselves with core issues, I think that's what we really need to meet together.
100%.
But I do believe, all that being said, I still believe in doctrine matters.
Yeah.
I believe that, because I believe that the doctrine that you buy into will determine the way to
100%. You gotta have a framework.
Yes.
You gotta have a framework. You can't just, and we were talking about this earlier too, there's a large percentage of young people coming to faith. They're coming to faith with kind of free will concepts.
Yes.
Churches where
It's the hyper grace.
yes.
Everything is
everything
grace.
feels good, man. It's
Yeah.
all good because it feels good.
Yeah.
That's not what this is about.
Or the nice good Jesus that loves everybody and doesn't he doesn't talk about sin, and then Jesus talked a lot about sin.
Very much so.
So
And it's judgment as
it's
well.
very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. So all of that being said.
Yeah, and we're not perfect, right? So another thing, guys, when we talk about this, Ephesians 2:8-9, I'm gonna flip over here. Ephesians 2:8-9 says, I was saved by grace, not through saved by grace through faith, and not of works, lest any man should boast. That's roughly what it says. I'm quoting from my brain up there.
Yeah, that's a good paraphrase.
So much. But then we also, we roll into James, and I think one of the big things that I've seen, it's all about Protestant denominations and Protestant separation, is in James. He says something very, very important, and basically some faith and deeds. It talks about basically that faith without works is dead, and I believe that to a certain extent, but you got to be real careful.
Very, very good.
And so there are denominations that they go, if you're not doing stuff, you're not going to go to heaven.
Yeah.
And I go, well, so my counter argument to those two things, the faith based in works, and the once saved always saved. I think once saved always saved. Another one that's very, I think there is, once you were saved, you were saved.
But it depends on what I agree and I disagree.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think that they are saved because something that happened when they were kids,
Yeah.
and then they didn't. You have to keep walking and walk.
Correct.
You have to keep walking and walk.
Correct.
Now, I always say like the sinner's prayer.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that they say because they said the sinner's prayer,
Right.
but they haven't. They haven't. They haven't changed anything about themselves. You can look at their life, and their life is exactly the same.
Correct.
As it is, but then and that's where the hyper grace comes.
Yes.
That's scary.
Yes.
Because now you can't tell anyone.
100%. You get so caught up in that. You're so right. You hit the spot on. That's my feeling on it too, right? I think that when you actually receive salvation, when you actually feel the calling of Christ in your life, and you change, you really reach into faith, you're going to change.
Yeah.
Because you're going to start not wanting to do the things that were based and rooted in sinful evil before.
And on the flip side of that, that faith is what causes you to have the works.
Correct.
Because that's what's going to send you out there to go and do the work. It's not that you got to do the works to be saved.
Right.
You're doing works as a result of the change in your life.
Correct.
So that's what I think James was talking about when he says, show me your works, show me your faith, and I'll show you my works.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's where it comes from. It stems from that. It doesn't stem from, hey man, I taught a Bible college. Now no, that's not necessarily. I was saved, and because I was saved, I got drive to go and do this.
Exactly.
And that's what I think.
It was so funny, guys. We didn't plan this.
We
We did not script this out, and we are.
off the top.
God, we're bleeding it together. But I agree with you 100%. That's what it is. And we talk about faith too and works. What's so funny about that? We're talking about the book of James.
Yes.
James and Jesus' brother.
Yeah.
James
Didn't believe it.
Didn't believe it. So you talk about grace and works. James was watching works happen every single day.
Yeah.
And went,
Yeah. I mean, think about it, man. I got a brother, man. Two of them as well. One of them came to me and was like, hey, guess what, man? I'm the Christ.
Yeah.
Let me get out of here.
Yeah. Exactly.
You left your shoes in the living room and their mom screamed at you.
Exactly. And it's so crazy, but that's so funny because James talks about faith and works aligning.
Yeah.
And we know that grace through faith is where it gets, because obviously it's not going to be left up to us. We're not ever going to be good enough for Jesus, right? We're not ever going to be good enough. The fact that, knowing that Christ died on the cross and suffered in a way that is quite frankly it was the other thing that people realize, I don't think a lot of people realize about passion, right, that happened. It was not normal, traditional, the way that they beat him, the way that they treated him. None of that was normal.
Yeah.
And so he reached a level of suffering that was beyond traditional, even crucifixion.
Yeah.
For us, in a way that's it's mind-blowing. And to think that I could ever do anything to match that gift, it's not possible.
Yeah.
And so, but again, the faith and works is that James saw works. He knows it's important because that's what he talks about in the book. It's a real big driver But people get caught up on that in denominations and go, well, if you're not doing works, you're not saved.
Yeah.
The same people will turn around and say, we got baptized as a baby, you're going to heaven.
Yeah.
No, you can't wash it away with a little
Exactly.
holy water that's been blessed by some dude that got handed a cool hat.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
The cool hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. And you know, you got to be real careful about not only where we get the message, but how we digest the message. It's
Yeah.
one thing to look at the plate and go, that's a steak. It's another thing to go, it's not cooked right.
Yeah.
And you don't know until you start cutting into that steak. And cutting into the steak is reading the word from yourself. And I would encourage too, we talked about this, is having different versions of scripture as far as translations, knowing what the actual root of the Greek, the Aramaic, and the Hebrew say, studying into that.
I would go as far as to say even get your concordance
Got to.
and some commentary.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
because all of that stuff is eye opening. At
Yeah.
least it was for me.
Oh,
It's
100%.
definitely eye opening for me to be able to go and look at it from different phraseologies, be able to look at it different ways. Because some phrases, you know, it hits you different than others. But
100%.
And then once you see that, at least it did for me. Once I see that, I'm like, oh, I got it. Then I go back to this one a little bit. I'm like, oh,
Exactly.
oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's how I
Exactly.
got me. I don't know if it might be just me.
No, dude. I'm the same way, and that's why the easy reader, daily reader, NIV is easy reader. It's great, it's digestible. It's pretty close. It's got flow, right? But it has the most, call it, base referencing
Yeah.
that you can have to be pretty accurate, pretty darn accurate. Also have an NASB that's for study, for deep rooted study. That's got commentary. The Hebrew Bible you've seen me talk through.
Yeah.
That's got commentary from the actual Hebrew translations. It's so important. But that's where the denominations, you talked about earlier, they didn't let you read the Bible.
Yeah.
And I still think they really don't. If you don't have a pastor that stands up there every day, he goes, here's some verses,
Yeah.
go read it for yourself.
Yeah.
You're not a good church.
I'm gonna tell you now, I've been to churches recently, and I don't even see anybody taking the Bible into a church.
It's crazy, right?
I always thought that was nuts.
I did too. Man, I go in there, I got a notebook, I got my
Yeah.
Bible. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, you don't have to turn here. I'm like, brother, you don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah, man.
I know where that's at. You know what I mean? I'll flip there real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
I got so many darn bookmarks. I mean,
I don't understand that. And then you're like, oh, we put it up on the screen. Yeah, man, but it's context behind all of that stuff too, man. And the whole time that the dude's up there and reading them, I'm the guy that's sitting there. Okay, what does this say?
Yeah.
Then I lean over my wife.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I think we get away from studying. We don't want to study.
Yeah, we just.
And I know that's like kind of like, I got 0.19 GPA at Auburn still. You know what I mean? I don't like studying either. But I love studying the word.
Yeah.
And that's where you got to get. I think, that's the other thing. I think your heart will find a yearning to study.
Mine.
And it never goes away. It just continues to creep on you. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to build our faith to where we want to understand, like in First Peter, have a reasonable defense, have apologetics to speak about.
And that's not being legalistic about it, because I know you need to be reading your Bible. No, man, you should have that desire to want to read His Word and understand. But like you say, man, a lot of these denominations, man, I wouldn't go as far as to say that they. I would go as far as to say that they shake their finger at you about studying, but they want to be able to present it from the same aspect that they grew up to get it from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want to. I don't. It's called indoctrination for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that die on some hills,
Yeah.
on some issues,
Yeah.
that are completely unbiblical,
Oh my God.
simply because they heard somebody say that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, true story.
Yeah.
That's where denominations have got. I think is that I grew up in a Southern Baptist church, but it never was very. I'll say this: it was never rooted in you have to do this. It was never very ritualistic in its approach.
No,
I've been in church
totally different.
that are very ritualistic.
Oh yeah, I grew up in a Pentecostal church, and
Yes.
very, which is was something that. This is what actually pushed me further towards Christ, and I watched it push a lot of people away from Christ. It pushed me closer to Him because, like you were saying, that hunger. I was like, okay, I know that's not biblical because I just read this little thing right here, and like I said, my father actually led me to a lot of stuff and told me, hey man, stop listening to that dude in that pulpit and start getting into this word for themselves.
Yeah.
Shout out,
There you go.
And so I started doing that, and it started making me say, okay, I believe that this is the thing. I still believe that that was right.
Yeah.
Even if what that dude was saying was wrong, I still believe that.
Yeah.
So it made me dive into that.
Yeah.
As opposed to just listening to what other people say.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Bishop Laurie Martin? You know who that is?
I have.
He's a guy, man. He came kind of the TikTok bishop. He was an Orthodox guy. He's not Orthodox anymore because he was making those guys frustrated. He started his own kind of
Eastern Orthodox.
Yes, yeah. He started his own church in New Zealand. I mean, this guy's fantastic. But he was being interviewed recently, and he said, you know, Christ Jesus going to come back, and he's like, you Catholics, you Baptists, you Orthodox. Oh,
yeah, all of y'all got
but you got it close enough, right? And that's where I think we got to be careful is that, you know, it's okay to have your church. It's okay to have your denomination. It's okay to go, man, I love that pastor. I love that message.
Yeah.
I love the music. I love the VBS for my kids. I love the living Christmas tree from back in the day. Like, whatever it is. But it's not about showing up on a Wednesday night and a Sunday and going, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
It's, we talked about this earlier too. It's where Jesus says, you know, die to yourself, pick up your cross, and follow me every day. And if you're not studying your word, if you're only listening to what other people are telling you, you're not going to have the, you know, we're still infants, we're still drinking milk, which I love milk in my protein shakes, but it's not my sustenance for the day. You're not going to have a firm enough faith to when the times aren't matching your feelings, that you have something to lean on.
I've seen a lot of people run away from the church because of those times.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they've been told, hey, Jesus is there for you, and he will be good, and he's going to be great.
It's the Joel Osteen, right?
Yeah.
Give me all your money and you'll get it back.
Yeah, and then, like you say, man, when they get a gut punch of reality from life, because my buddy always say, life happens at the speed of life. It's not, ain't nobody going to be there to tell you, hey, man, here comes a bad day on the point. That doesn't happen to you. So when it hits you, and you don't have a foundation grounding, it'll shake. Watch it shake a lot of people. Yeah. And then they're not bashing. Like, the thing is, this is not us bashing denominations. It's us going, be aware that because there's a certain name in it. This is one of the other things we found in No Stones. And I say leaks, we found it together where you like it not. Yeah. I'm in there, man.
The reason why it's so important is because we saw that gap above the bridge, but also there's so many people that are Christian. That are in the faith, as they say. But like you said, we're so parsed because, oh, you don't believe this, this doctrine here, this, you know, we take our tithe before the service and we make sure we do Lord's Supper every Sunday. You only do it once a quarter, and you don't do the Stations of the Cross during Christmas or Easter, whatever. I'm like, okay, what does that got to do with it?
Show me where that matters scripturally.
What are we doing for the community? What are we actually doing to show the world what Christ loves them? And then how are we supporting each other to go, you know, times are difficult. And we are promised that times are difficult. Then I think we get away from the grace of it. You know,
definitely.
The Old Testament, I think, proves that concept of grace. Where I used to think it was, this is why I was studying the Bible so important. I used to think the Old Testament was just Sodom, more pillars of salt, fires and brimstone. And then you actually read it, and you know, I saw some. I was reading, and you go, man, they're killing off generations of people. And look at it from a different perspective. They're killing off generations of people, so those people don't end up dead. I never thought of that. But you're saving future souls from being condemned by not allowing it to happen.
Not only that, but in a lot of instances, they were just killing. He was just killing off evil people.
That's it.
People that was doing bad
exactly.
Stuff.
And God, when you read it, man, it's so crazy because they were doing witchcraft. They were worshiping other gods.
Baby sacrifices and stuff like that.
Crazy. And
Moloch and all of them.
It's in here, and they go, don't do that no more. And then they have to tell them again, don't do that. What? It's crazy to think about. But then we also look at the modern day, how we affect things in daily life decisions. And I go, man, we're not that far off.
Man, look.
You know?
I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but I'm never mind. I'm not even.
Look, at the end of the day, that's where we're at. And then we go, but it's because we base everything in our lives on fear.
Our feelings.
Our feelings. And they're not. Look, God gave us every feeling for a reason. That's the good ones and the bad ones. The seesaw of life, if you will. And you're never going to always be at it.
No.
But when you're down, that's when this matters the most. And it's been often, even for me personally, it's been the most difficult to lean on.
Yeah.
So when I'm having my worst days, my worst weeks, and I'm going, man, I love you, God.
Yeah.
I've been
But
praying.
I don't want nothing to do with shit right now. I want to be mad.
But that's what he wants. I
Yeah.
think you know what I mean? Like, that's the point, is that I think it's okay.
Yeah, it was like when you were talking about Jonah the other day, and you was like, it was like Jonah was like way open with God, like, man, just take me out, just kill me, man. And God didn't say, he was like, hey man, don't talk like that.
Yeah.
Hey man, let's talk about this whole.
Yeah, are you sure you want that?
Like,
What's wrong with you?
In a lot of places, you know, I always think about Abraham.
Yeah.
Right before Solomon Gomorrah, he was like, hey man, if it's 50 people now, man, you're scared to sit here. You know, just sitting there bargaining with God.
Yeah, you got another, what, 10 or 2 or something?
Yeah,
Like,
you got that.
like, oh, it's gonna give me like 10. Man.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna wipe them out, dog. They're not gonna make, you know. But that kind of talk, that honesty of talking to him.
Yeah.
It's a relationship. Jeremiah.
Oh my God.
All the way into it, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, crying.
One of my favorite books.
Yes,
Yeah,
very much so.
favorite.
But I mean, the openness and the honesty about being angry and upset about seeing things, and you know, I think you're right. I think that's what he wants from us. Because that's us being vulnerable at our core.
100%.
And it gives us the strength to be able to lean on.
Yes.
Nobody wants to talk to. It's like our parents. I know some people that were having complicated things going in their life that they wouldn't even go to talk to their parents because they thought their parents would be mad at them for even bringing it to them. That's not the God.
Exactly.
That's not how he is.
Yeah.
I always try to keep open dialogue with all my kids.
Yeah.
You know, I'm stern.
Yeah.
But I want you to understand that if you have something that you want to talk to me about, come and talk to Dad.
Yeah.
You know, I won't ever beat you down. I might tell you you're wrong, but
Exactly.
I'm not gonna beat you down, and I'm not gonna do you like that, man. And I think that's the kind of relationship that we're
100%. I think you said it so perfectly. The best part you said right there, in my opinion, you said, "I will tell you."
Yeah, I'm
so
telling you wrong.
That's the key. Is that we want a God that doesn't get mad at us. That's not that doesn't have judgment, but that has grace. He has the most grace. He came down as a human to die, and it was to see. He got tempted in the desert by Satan. It was to literally go, why do these dudes keep screwing up?
Yeah.
And again, I've joked about it multiple times now. You know, Adam.
Yeah.
You know, and then he went threw his wife on the bus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I always say that when we get to heaven, everybody that gets in should get at least one gut punch in on Adam. Just one.
Yeah.
Well, see what you did, man.
Man, what were you thinking, homie? You know, it's crazy to think about that, but like we will face judgment one day. But the wonderful thing is when you get there and that time comes, whereas am I going to end up watching a movie of all the things I've done wrong? They open up the filing cabinet like on Bruce Almighty that goes out the other side of the building.
That frightens me.
Oh my God! But you know what's going to happen is, man, I don't deserve to be here. Christ comes me. You know, you're right.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, is that you have that understanding that there is something greater, and there is a covering for that, but it doesn't excuse away making mistakes, especially carry your cross every day.
Yeah.
Because our tendencies are always going to be wrong, and I think denominations, churches as a building or as a thought, they don't always root it in that. They have to have cheeks and seats.
Yeah, and I think I think that is the reason why, like I said earlier, the hyper grace thing.
Yeah.
Where they're not even really teaching the real scripture anymore. They're just, hey man, Jesus loves you and he's going to make your life better, and if you come here, you know, we'll be a family together. It's not. It's not that grace doesn't exist.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
It's that, hey man, he does have grace, but then, like you said, there's also going to be some judgment in there.
Yeah, there has to be. Just like a parent. A parent's going to have rules.
Yes.
And you're going to live by those rules, or there's going to be consequences for breaking those rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same for our lives, and that our goal, my goal now, right? This shirt, right? Here's gospel spread. And just spread the word, the good news, because you know, as a young Christian, and I was stuck in the infant mode for a long time. And I was afraid of the modern day. You know, what about my job? What about my people? What about these things that I'm doing? Who will think of me these certain ways?
Yeah.
And that was so selfish of me.
Yes.
And now I'm going,
pride.
yeah, dude. Now I'm going, man, I have to talk about this. We have a podcast and a lectures on every other Sunday
Yeah.
at a theater downtown Mobile.
Yeah.
I'd have never done that years ago.
Yeah, I never even thought that I would be. Well, I wouldn't say that because for the last couple of years, this is exactly what I.
Yeah, yeah.
But before the last couple of years,
Yeah.
I never thought that I would be speaking
No.
publicly about
Oh,
it.
man.
It's like you said, man. And the bad part about it was fear.
Yeah.
It was fear of what are my friends going, what are the people around me going to think?
Yeah.
Do I need to change this in my life before I even do this? Because people are going to judge me for doing this, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through a lot of.
Well, that's the cool Bethesda discussion, right? That we had last week, 2 weeks ago. Is Jesus looks at him and says, "Do you want to be healed?" Theo Vaughn talked about that in his podcast. That was so fun.
I actually saw that every day, man.
Dude,
it was great.
You're watching a guy.
Shout out Theo.
Yeah, Theo, great stuff, man. I think hilarious. But I love where you went with. If you ever watch this, I hope you do. Where he went with that, man. I'm good, brother. I'm praying for you.
Yeah, every day.
Because I know where he's at. And he's looking around himself.
He's so familiar.
These things.
Yep.
I have to give up some of this stuff. And what if I don't? All I have to really give up is the bad decisions.
Yes.
What are the consequences of that, though?
Yeah.
And
what does that look like?
Yeah. And in my life, I'll say that the greatest thing that I've found is that I actually met with a pastor recently. Pastor Ed, love to death, man. He God's Redemption Church, and he's been what I would consider my home church pastor since I was a kid. And I remember when he came from Arizona, and he's just a fantastic guy. But I'm lucky and blessed that he lets me still spend this time. Right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about kind of this concept, and I told him, I said, man, the thing that cracks me up is that the people that I would think I would be getting some instant messages from or support or reshare are not the people that do it.
Yeah.
The support has come mainly from people that I went,
I can't believe what?
Exactly. in the greatest way.
Yeah.
Because I'm going, man, the things I was worried about is the testimony, if you will, the test that I faced, the test you've had too, right?
Absolutely.
That would have made it fearful to do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm going, man. Michael Irvin said that's a bad entry. That's the card that I could play to go, man. I've been there, done that, seen it, lived it, and that's why I've landed here.
Yeah.
Is because this is the ultimate grace through faith. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I have faith that I have that grace, but I'm now going. I got to produce works to help grow the kingdom.
Yeah.
And
I have to do something.
Yeah.
I have to do something, and then you're in it for me to be able to say, "Hey, I want to do something."
Yeah.
So that other people will know.
Yeah.
How I feel, because I think that there's, like you said when we first started, there's a yearning for that.
Yeah. 100%.
And a lot of people will not, unfortunately, go to some of these churches for the same fear,
reason. Yeah.
for the same exact fear.
Yeah, the judgment of the church itself.
Yeah.
I don't fit the mold of what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And it's
shame about past sins and things that they've done in the past and stuff like that. I know.
Yeah.
So
and church, and God, I hate it. Like again, we're all the body of Christ. I hope we're just a pinky toe.
Yeah.
Right. Let's do something.
If I could be a hangnail, I'm good.
Come on, right? I'm telling you. Mercy Me says, I can only that song. I can only imagine. They say, what will I do when I'm in Jesus?
Yeah.
That's what they go. Well, while I fall down on my knees, while I sing, I'd love to think, and I'm gonna be singing. I used to think I was gonna slide in the back door and hope nobody caught me, right? And now I'm going, dude. For a long time I battled with why even make it past the and how would I and then it turned into I quite frankly don't care, but I know that I have a calling to make other people visible to what maybe they can move past my burdens, and then now it's really, man, just dude, let me take the trash out, not before or something. I don't
give me a sleeping bag if I can get right inside the gate. I'm good.
My goodness, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't need the whole house thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can leave the ceiling fan out, like I'm good to go. Yeah, it's crazy to think about, but that really was where it started for me, true, man. And I was one of those people. I went to church, I had things, and I did the Sunday morning, the Wednesday night, and then I did the Sunday morning, and the small group, and then honestly, the church hurt me in a way that people in the church. We would leave Sunday, and then we would go play beer pong on Sunday afternoon, and that was like, okay, and then they were get to the boats or whatever, and everybody has their own thing. Like I'm not taking away from what we do, but you knew it wasn't right,
Yeah.
and it wasn't trying to. We weren't trying to seek Christ together.
Yeah.
We were trying to seek fun together.
Yeah.
And man, I'll tell you, part of it's fun.
Yeah, man, it is.
But
it
it'll
is.
ruin you, and it's so crazy how the doors seem shut when they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's what I would love to be able to break through. Now again, we're talking about trying to form this world sports and bring the local church. So if you're catching this local community churches, and you want to get involved in something to where it's not just your doors, but it's the community, it's the air, it's the doors to heaven that we can help open for people in this community. I think that is what we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that we can touch and agree on. Even Protestant, Methodist, Presbyterian, and Pentecostal Church of Faith, and Word of God, and there's so many things that we need to be doing together.
Yeah, 100%.
As like you say, as the body.
Yes.
So many things that we can be doing together because we living in a time, man. It's a lot of people out there yearning for something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they just are afraid to be judged and go into these different denominations.
Yeah. I mean, the alien stuff. So we talked about angels and demons and aliens a couple of weeks ago, and now you see all that coming out. And I think
that's wild.
We're at this pivotal point, though, right? We're at this pivotal point where that is a distraction that I don't even think some people in the church from here talk about.
Yeah, I don't think they want to touch.
No, and we should be, because people are, and that just shows you how much people, I think, are seeking something.
Yeah.
I
think they got a feeling, Paul always, in Romans, talking about, hey man, the invisible things of God are seen. People see this.
Yeah.
I know some people that are flat out are not Christians, but they'll say, hey man, look, it's got to be something.
There's something out there. There absolutely is something out there.
There's too much order to all of this.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So, hey man, there's a way to explain this to people, and that's another thing, man. Hey man, we don't have to be ignorant of these times.
Correct.
We could use our brains as Christians, Ain't nothing wrong.
God, that's the point. Jesus was so smart.
Yes.
My God, when you think about it, man.
Yeah.
Dude was so freaking intelligent, and how he was able to come up as a carpenter. Actually, he was a builder, is what he kind of was, right? Not just a carpenter. He didn't just plain wood. The dude he was a stout cat.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is you look at what he taught and how he taught, and the people that he went up against in his time. Yeah. The Pharisees and Sadducees, some of the most intelligent people on the planet.
Yeah.
And he was challenged
circles around
all that. And that's what they got so mad about.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to get back to. I read this book.
Simple doesn't mean stupid.
Correct. And I was talking, we talked about this earlier. I read Jeremiah Johnson, is famous apologetic now. He's a New Testament scholar. He wrote the 10 Jesus Discoveries. I just finished it. It's the #1 New York Times bestselling.
Yeah, let me get that.
I definitely am. You got to read it. And it's so fascinating.
Yeah.
But what he says towards the end is talking about apologetics and the reasons and events we have to perform. And he goes, guys, we are in a time where it's almost like we think Christians don't need to be intelligent.
Yeah.
And we almost dumb it down, or we try and go, well, Jesus is a friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. No, it's not that at all. It's like we need to be seeking out truth, reality, science, understanding the backing of this stuff.
Yeah.
So the only faith I know of that you go, please find more. Keep digging.
Yeah.
Keep digging so I can read more books about the cool stuff they find.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My buddy at work always says, hey man, if it's true, then there's going to be evidence for it.
100%.
And that's 100% true. It's 100%
my gosh,
true.
if you're, and you talk about religions outside Christianity, if you're in a religion or a faith that is afraid to point to fact-based historical finds
and evidence,
and anything that makes some sense, you probably need to be looking at what we're talking about as far as reading the Bible and and the Christian faith. Because there's a lot of those out there, the false teachers, that they're not just teaching false doctrine of Christianity. They're teaching things that are spin-offs. That's what a lot of people don't understand either.
Oh, yeah.
Most all these faiths, man, they spun out of something, and it's called Jesus.
Yeah.
And they took it and moved another way with it. They don't have. So, people go, oh, well, Christ, he died and rose again. Tell me about that. And we can go into Charlotte Turin and all the different things. We know that.
That's fascinating.
Oh, it's so crazy.
It is.
But there are at least 500 people that saw him ascend heaven. That
being said, even the early apostles dealt with the Gnostics and all of that different.
Oh, 100%.
So there's always been people that put spins.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Go through Galatians. You go through First and Second Corinthians. With all of that. What Paul talking about that. there's always been people that put spin on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's all the more reason for you to dig into this right
Yeah.
here.
Well, think about so there's one of the Sons of Sea one we were talking about,
Yes.
where they were trying to cast out demons, and you look at the history of it. So much of the Jews back then, the mystics and even the Roman pagans were using Jesus' name historically. They found artifacts to use it. Jesus said, "Don't do this," and I'm going. You don't see the correlation there.
Yeah.
They knew that he was doing things that were otherworldly and not normal for the day, even for the people that they had scripted to do those things. You talk about Moses and the things that happened in Egypt when they were calling the people out, right? Throwing the staff and him and Aaron and the staff and the frogs, the water turned into blood, and all these things that Pharaoh's greatest wizards could not do.
Yeah.
And that's why, like I said, the combination. I always talk about the combination of the building of the Bible, the 63,000 different connections.
Yeah, and the Old New Testament.
You need to realize too, man. You talk about 40 authors of various and sundry different backgrounds.
Yeah.
They're not all just scholarly smart
Yeah.
people.
1,500 years.
1,500 years,
Yeah.
different continents.
Yeah.
Man. And it's the same story.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
You can't. There's a pastor in Atlanta, great guy. I forget the 1619 church.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking
That
about.
dude is awesome.
Oh, man.
He's amazing.
Anthony Michael.
God, he's so great. And he goes, you can't get 20 people in a room and tell them right now and say, hey, talk about the subject and get everybody to.
Yeah. It's like a telephone game. They didn't know by the time they get to the end.
Yeah, we're talking about wheelbarrows and it started with Skittles, you know. It just doesn't work. And man, we're in such a profound time because I feel like we're at that much longer race. I hate getting the guitars. We're at that point where the denominations don't need to separate; they need to start coming together.
Yeah.
We got to start running this race
on the real things that matter.
Yes.
On the real things.
Yes, and it's this, man. It's this word for word and sharing in the word so that we can sit as the church, as the body of believers, and discuss. Okay, let's hash out our differences. Let's talk about, once saved, always saved. And what does that mean? Well, it means that if I am truly saved, I'm truly going to change.
Yeah.
Because as Paul says, I'm going to become a new person.
Yes.
I will throw off the old ways. I'll become a new individual.
And there will be evidence of this.
And there'll be evidence of my works.
Yes.
So we can't parcel out a couple of verses here from this chapter here and even this writer here.
Yeah.
It's the whole text, the whole body.
That's been the biggest problem with all of the denominations because a lot of people started people just carving out, one or two lines out of a book and then contextualizing it the way that they see it.
Yeah.
And then wrapping the whole doctrine.
And it's been happening since the beginning, right? So we're talking about Pelagian theories, right? And
Yeah.
we talked about that earlier. And Augustine. Now, one of them feels really good and graceful and makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. The other one's super stoic. Nope, if you don't live like this, you're not going to get called.
Yeah.
Yet acknowledging that there's grace. And that's the thing is we trip over our own selves
Yeah.
trying to convince that our way is the right way.
Well, I think that's the pride thing. And we all, human beings struggle with pride.
Yeah.
Now, when you get a prideful human being sitting up in front of a bunch of other people,
It's tough.
and he gets to be able to be the one to set the tone for all of those people.
Yeah.
And you get a couple of fools to touch and agree. You got a problem. I always say that was a problem with the internet, man. You get,
Oh my God.
if as long as you got one fool, you probably can isolate him.
Yeah.
But then you got this fool connected with this fool and this fool and this fool, and they all are agreeing that fool up there said.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, boy, it's like, oh, okay, and he has pride.
Yeah.
Oh, now you got pride.
Well, I think as I said earlier, when you look at the days that you're not in the moment, there's days that are so great, man. I feel so connected to God.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, I'm on fire and I'm getting the chills. I'm reading the Bible, praying. And there's days, man, it's a couple weeks going by and I'm feeling horrible.
Yeah.
And nothing's going right. And I'm going, are you listening, man?
Yeah.
And
Or you walk by the Bible and look at it and be like,
I don't feel like reading.
what is snarling?
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, I've sitting there a couple times and I'm like, I don't feel like reading this right now. But then you force yourself to it. And the one thing I will say that I've found, when you force yourself to read the word even when you don't feel like it, you feel it.
I do.
I always feel better.
I do.
There was a study that Harvard did actually about biblical study in one day, if you read 1 day a week, whatever, read 2 days a week, whatever. When you get to 4 days a week and you read the word, in at least, let's say, 30 minutes or something, the exact time frame. I won't make up statistics. That's
Yeah.
what I do. But there's the true parts are the ones that matter.
Yeah.
If you get to 4 days, it's 20 to 30% reduced in anxiety and stress because it settles.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean I always tell people if you don't know what to read, open up Proverbs.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Open up Proverbs, start reading there, and then start looking at things. I would say this is the most. It's the coolest, greatest stories, the neatest history.
Yeah.
It's when you read the Bible and you find the cosmic stuff in it too.
Yeah.
There's more unbelievable stuff in this one book than any other thing I've ever read.
It's just about you can get every kind of book that you can think of in that Bible. You get your love story, you get your horror story, you get your soft porn if you want to call it.
Soft songs.
You got your horror movies in there.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say Revelations is a horror movie, whatever. I don't see it like that.
I love it. Yeah.
But there is some scary parts in there.
100%.
So I mean, you could get a lot of. I don't want to say entertainment, but it is entertaining. It's entertaining.
It is. Yeah, dude, my bookshelf used to be. I love history. I read a ton of history. Stephen Andrews, David McCullough. I'm a big fan of those guys. Read almost everything they ever written. And man, it's funny if you look at my bookshelf now. It's shifted to where now a whole section is just Bibles.
Yeah.
And different Bible translations.
That got like 2 shelves under
I got a Dead Sea Scrolls thing.
That's cool. I would like to see
Dead Sea Scrolls is super cool because it also points to the prophecy and the fulfillment of the Messiah's coming. And there is so much about Christ coming that to earth and being the Messiah that's tied into the Dead Sea Scrolls. And that's what's so fascinating. Dead Sea Scrolls actually at one point they were in the classified ads for sale in like the New York Times next to like lawnmowers.
That's insane.
Yeah. These Bedouin shepherds just found out. Oh, there's some scratch on this. Right? It was nobody really knew. It was so crazy. But then when they pulled it out and they read it, and they started understanding what they had. Right, the Dead Sea Scrolls. The fact that it's so accurate, but so predating to anything else that was written. That's where the Bible really. There's no other faith. There's no other writing that gets even close to the accuracy of the continuity of the world.
Yeah, I heard that the book of Isaiah, the scroll that they found, it's like 99.
It's crazy.
Accurate.
Yeah, it's crazy. All the Old Testament writings that were in there. The only book that's not in there was the book of Esther, I believe. But everything else is found in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah.
And they were, except for like how you would, conjugate a verb or something, like it was like little changes that they put the apostrophe there or not.
Yeah.
They used an M dash instead of a colon. Like, stuff like that. But man, it's when you see the history of it, it blows my mind. And we don't teach enough of that because the denominations, in my opinion, are caught up on what's our doctrine, what's our plate passing ceremony.
Yeah.
What's our thing that we have to do? And it's good to have
real baptism. Do you sprinkle water? Is it
dude,
full of submersion?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man, that's neat. I believe in baptism. I said this earlier. I got to be careful how I say it. I consider myself an Christian apologetic Baptist reformer.
Yeah.
I'm not a Calvinist.
They see you throw that in there.
I'm not a Calvinist. So when I say reformer, I don't mean that. But I think the church needs to be reformed. Yeah. I believe in baptism as a solidification of your public profession of faith. That's what it is. It's washing. And that's why, man, you can't be bathing a baby and go, man.
Yeah, he's good.
You're good. That is not how that works.
No.
And that's a scary slope that is normalized in multiple denominations.
Yes.
And I thought I said this before. I look back on my life and I go, I remember being a kid, and it felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't know then a lot of what I know now. And I'm not saying that I hadn't gone through life as a Christian. I'm not sure. I know I had conviction when I would do things that are wrong. But I would say this too. The other thing, the more you do things that are not in pursuit of truth, the easier it is to do those things.
Yeah.
So that's where I think I can understand the falling from grace concept of losing your salvation. but then I would say you truly won't save them.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's I don't know. I knew the Bible, I knew Jesus, I knew the name, I knew the stories until I started reading the Word, and I was at an absolute lost point. Great on social media on the outside looked fantastic.
Yeah.
On the inside, brother,
Right to the core.
we were milk that had been in the sun for 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like it was not good.
I always tell people there's a difference between knowing something and believing it. You know, for you could know something.
A lot of people get too.
I put it like this. This is how I explain it. I used to be a baking pastries.
Yeah.
I knew that if you whipped an egg, you could make it.
Yeah.
I knew that, but I didn't understand what was going on inside. I didn't understand that you were cutting up, molecules and stuff. And then when you were whipping it and putting air into it,
right.
I understood then why it was going on. This is knowing, understanding, and then the wisdom.
Right.
So I knew that, and then I understood how it worked.
Right.
And then I was able to say, oh, okay, when I see this whipping like this, then I have the wisdom to be able to say, okay, stop. Because if I go any further with this, the whole thing will breaks.
Yeah.
So it's the difference between knowing, understanding, and having wisdom.
Yeah.
If we don't have the wisdom, because the wisdom is where you get the faith.
100%.
So I don't understand. Well, I do understand how people don't get that. I know all these Bible stuff. Yeah, but do you fully understand what they mean, and do you have the wisdom to be able to apply them to you? I don't know if everybody is doing that. I know about God. I know about God. What exactly do you know?
Yeah.
The Bible say, hey man, even the demons know. Hey, no.
That's Dan. You know, told us to see that. I know Jesus, I know Paul. I don't know you.
Yeah.
That's a very difficult thing because you're right, man. I think it's easy to get caught up in especially our lives. Is it's just day to day. I go to this church, you go to that church, and we meet for lunch after.
Yeah.
But if you're not taking time to, like Jesus says, go into a closet and seek my face. Go to a closet for if you're not seeking that quiet time somehow, and it doesn't have to be. I am an absurd human being once every day.
Yeah.
Okay? I wake up early enough to read, to pray for at least an hour, hour and a half every single day. That's not, and I don't care what goes on in my life. I would just do it earlier, right? Like I would just adjust my life.
Yeah.
Not everybody. You don't have to spend hours and hours and pouring over all these things. That's where your pastorship comes in.
Yeah.
For people to help steward that. But everyone should be spending time.
Yes.
And
to get the relationship.
Yeah, man. Like and then you want to keep building that. You look, man. One of the worst marriages is the ones where you don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
That's not what Jesus wants. Yeah, dude.
You're married, technically.
Yeah, technically married, but it's just for aesthetics.
Yeah.
That's not what this is about.
What's your wife's favorite color?
I don't know. I don't know the color of her eyes. You know what I mean?
I don't know the color of her eyes.
Yeah. It's man, don't ask husbands. I'm telling you, I know. You know, much less what her favorite food is. Everybody's gonna get on pizza. And that's the thing is we need to seek a relationship. And I think again, the deeper that you dig into that relationship, the more you get out of that.
Yeah.
God will, and that's where the blessing conversation comes in. But you got to be careful of that too. So what does that mean? That I'm going to have tons of money and everything's going to be great? No, it means when you don't have tons of money and everything's not going great.
Yeah,
you're still
going to be good.
You realize that it's a bigger thing, and that's truly, I think, where faith and reality align. Right, in my opinion, is that faith is the unseen, and that's where apologetics. I love the archaeology of it. And being able to go here, we can point to the Shroud of Turin. It's famous, fascinating. We can point to the burial box of James and go, man, it says, Father, son of Joseph, brother of Jesus.
Yeah.
That's great. That's not what all it takes. That is just solidifying the facts of the faith.
Yeah.
But the faith truly is really seeking out that understanding so you can bridge that gap and build that relationship. This is so important. And if you're just listening to somebody on Sunday, or you're watching, here's the model. I watch this guy on TikTok or YouTube.
Yeah.
Holy Lord. I love it when you watch us on YouTube. Don't get me wrong here. But it ain't about that. Right?
Yeah, it's
You
not
know what
about,
I'm
it's not
saying?
about that. Hope you get some out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. But I think that's the key there. Um, I mean, I think we hit our top. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
That
guys,
was fun.
yeah. This is fantastic, guys. We're not going to keep going too long. We're going to keep doing this on a weekly basis as much as we can. It's an addition to No Stones Ministries and what we accomplish on Sundays every other week at Crescent Theater. Come see us, Crescent Theater. It's 10 to 12 on Sunday. Every other Sunday. Our next one is this week. We're talking about love. But this really is an opportunity for us to break down on a more personal level, I would say,
Yes.
where the Sundays are more like a lecture study, take some of that and then go study and seek yourself. This is more of a practical application of our lives and how we feel about it and what we're going to bring the message to you guys. So I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
am too,
excited.
man. I love this.
Brought to you by
man.
Deer Park.
Yeah. Sponsor us.
Exactly. Yeah. I drink your water a bunch of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is good, man. And I hope, above anything, I hope that people get something out of this. Um, we both cool guys and all that good old stuff, but we are here to spread the word. And I know there are a lot of people out there who, as this man always says, just don't see themselves welcome to some of these churches. So come to the Crescent.
Yeah.
Say every other week. Wear what you want to.
Yeah.
Like you want to. We're not doing it. We're not doing all of that judgment stuff.
Yeah. T-shirt and hat for me.
T-shirt and hat. Man. T-shirt and hat, man.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I know where I'm going. You know where you're going.
Yes.
We want you guys to come with us. It's going to be a blessing. So, see you in eternity.
Gotcha.
I love it.
That was good.
That was
I like
perfect.
that last line. See you in eternity.